jungle.
It's Indiana Jones, a large-size action figure.
That boulder's coming in fast.
He's new from Kenner's Raiders of the Lost Ark collection.
Stay low, Indiana. They're right behind you. Use your whip. Whoa, I'm slipping. Oh! A snake pit. Get me out of here. Snap!
Indiana Jones, a large-size action figure from Raiders of the Lost Ark collection, new from Kenner.
There's something very special about the taste of 7-Up that's unlike any other soft drink. Maybe because 7-Up has no artificial flavor and no artificial color. Never had it, never will. And no caffeine. Never had it, never will. Whatever it is that makes 7-Up so refreshingly different, the other soft drinks never had it. Ha ha ha. Never will.
Play the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom game. Details at 7-Up and Diet 7-Up displays.
Boy, do I have a surprise for you.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Talk Hard. Here we are. It's Tuesday. It's time to talk hard. Hail to all of you. Hail to you, gentlemen. Thanks for being here. Let's do it. And what's going on? What's going on indeed? Loki, my friend. What a show last week. I'm looking for the Loki cut of the Karate Kid film. I have to admit, to the shirt, we will still work on that, Chris. We can find an appropriate shirt, or maybe I don't know how to get it past Mrs. Pops, but hashtag Daddy Bags. That's all I'm going to say. Go back and watch the Karate Bags. Go back and watch that. There definitely needs to be an emoji that we make that could be appropriate. And if not, we need to work on shirts. So we need to figure out a shirt. We have a whole lot of shirt ideas. And we got to get on it. But Loki, thank you so much for running that down. Thank you to Odega.
Thank you
for being here. It was great. Appreciate you filling in while we celebrated the anniversary time with the old Mrs. Pops. So it's great. Thank you, brother.
It was great. You know, I didn't realize that's what we were going to do, but that, you know, Odega came in and was like, "Oh, Daniel-san." And I was like, "No, Johnny." And it just Squeaker rolled right there with me and was right there. Like Johnny was the good guy. I'm like, yeah. So we all had a lot of fun, and it was great to fill in for you.
It was awesome. IRONCASTER, my brother. How are you, my friend? What's going on?
It has been a long, long trip, but I feel like I've gone around the world and I've come back. No, I am doing fantastic. I have been kind of looking forward to this one because this has probably been one of the Indiana Jones movies I think I've seen the least of a lot.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
Kalima.
Let me clarify that. Of the 3 Indiana Jones movies,
there's no more than 3.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. We can talk about. I'll tell you the story about one of them. So I'll go from there. But with us, a special guest. He's in the house. That's right. He hasn't been with us for a minute. It's great to have him in the house. Joker Voice is here. How you doing, brother? What's going on?
Oh, hello. Back with my brother from another mother, my brother in chaos, master of metal over here. Last time I was here, we were talking Judge Dredd or Dredd. Last time.
Yeah, on Talk Hard. It has been a minute. We've been bringing in guests more regularly now. We're having a good time with that too, because it's kind of fun. It kind of, I don't know, we just love having the difference of thoughts and opinions. And you were like, yes, Temple of Doom, put me down. And I'm like, yeah. Because you were probably old enough like I was to see this in the theater when it dropped, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, just to give reference, I was old enough when Star Wars came out. I saw it in the theater.
He doesn't look as old as I am, but we're close. Just so you know, he ages well. He ages like Paul Rudd. Story for another time. Just saying. See, I did it. I had to go there. It's okay. You can't put me in timeout. It's how it works. So it's my show.
I love you, brother.
I do love you too. So just so you know, the only address that we'll have of the fourth movie and whatever has happened since, I've never seen the other one. The fourth movie was so bad for me that Mrs. Pops held my arm so I would not leave, because there was 2 times in this movie where I almost left the theater. And the last time was near the end when the spaceship thing happens. It turns into full. I out loud said to the theater, "It's turning into freaking X-Files." And I literally said that out loud. She held my arm and she's like, "We're that close. You're not leaving. We're not leaving now." So, and I'm like, I've never watched it again. No desire to watch it again. It's embarrassing that I own stuff that's Crystal Skull. I do own 2 main things that are Crystal Skull, that thing and the thing on the wall. So it's almost embarrassing, but at the same time, it's Indiana Jones. I can't help it.
You got to be. Go ahead, Joker.
I almost walked out the opening 15 minutes of that film too.
It's brutal.
That's how bad it was. Awful.
You got to be happy though. Now, though, you've got Indiana Jones and the flea bag of dysentery. Crystal Skull's not such a bad movie now.
I wouldn't know. I couldn't make it through the trailers and the absurdity and stupidity. You guys already have heard me cry about time travel movies in general. Like, it's so rare that I can handle time travel movies. Don't have issues. My little brain gets all warped and messed up. There's only a handful that I really enjoy rewatching regularly. The fact that we're going to throw that in there as well, just can't do it. So anyway.
You know, I'm in the same boat with you for the time travel elements. Like, there's a lot of time travel stories I do not like. Like, I don't care for Back to the Future because
you're in timeout. You're in timeout. We'll let him back in.
Wow.
And so, I don't know.
You gotta come back with me, Ironcaster.
Back, Loki,
to the future.
We gotta go back to the future. It's your kids.
Buddy.
It's your kid, Ironcaster. We've got to go back and save your kids.
We gotta go back. Save my father. Culture Casino.
Wow, that is amazing.
You shaved the beard.
So yeah, we could get Andy Masterson and make a little Ironcaster action figure that's holding like a stuffed shark. That would be the best. I'm down for that.
He's alive, Culture. He's in 1955, but the beard is alive.
He's alive. All right, so
that wouldn't die.
So Ironcaster, you mentioned this was not one you've watched a ton. Is this? How old were you when you saw this? Because this was obviously before your time. I can't believe it's 40 years. That's freaking. That really hurt for me to say out loud. 40 years on this one. Oof.
Yeah.
So it probably would have been in around the build up to that fourth movie. Like when they were doing all the marathons on TV at some point, I had seen it there. I don't know what it was. This one I would just kind of skip. I had either always missed, like, you know, I would always kind of catch like reruns on TV of the other ones. Like I would always wind up catching the first one sort of in the wrap up with like with them like, I'm gonna blow it up, like, don't open your eyes. Last Crusade I've seen a bunch over the years, but Temple of Doom is one I always kind of wound up sort of like the first, or like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I would always wind up just kind of catching it kind of halfway through, because honestly the first half of this movie I did not remember.
Okay, all right.
Oh, so you don't remember like the Obi-Wan bar or the any of that?
No, there's a lot of this movie I'm like, wait, this was in this movie?
So you didn't really remember like the Mrs. Spielberg opening or the, you know,
Kathleen Kennedy dancing?
Our last adventure. It's our last adventure, Indy. It's our last adventure. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And just to pull something up here, just how great Harrison Ford looks in a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's give some love to this guy. Did you all miss me? Yes, of course we missed you, brother. He had been here. By the way, you have been on the channel since.
Yes.
But not talk hard. But we're very happy to have you with us, and thank you for all your support. 19 months, my gosh, we've been talk about us feeling old. Like we've been doing this for 19 months. That's crazy.
I was member number 1.
He was member. He was member number 1. Mags, I think, was super chat number 1, and it's been crazy, man. It's been crazy. YouTube does let me give away some memberships, so I'm happy to keep recycling that every month. Keep people going. Love that interaction with folks. Gives you guys early access to stuff. I will eventually be able to figure out how to get some member chats and stuff going on, streams as well. But yeah, thanks for that so much. And you guys get to vote, by the way, more often than other people. By the way, there is a Talk Hard content vote right now over on my channel. So they're picking which of the 3 Godzilla movies we're going to choose, guys. I put it up for them. Let them decide. So we put all 3 of them there. Let them decide. I didn't throw in a weird one. I did the 3 we talked about. So you guys know. So, but thanks to all of you doing that. And then $5 from Chris Scott Westbrook, man. Brother, thank you so much. You get a cool super sticker going. Keep it up, man. I appreciate you, man. You've been a supporter for so long. And doing this is it's great, man. As Loki says, keeps the lights on. It just helps so much. So. And this chat, man, you're already on fire, everybody. Thank you so much for everything. Here he is, the wrench of wrenches, the man from the Great White North, holding things down. Thank you so much, Chris Persia. Hail to the triumvirate of Talking Hard. Hail to you, my friend. Also, the man behind the scenes helping hold things together for me. Appreciate you. Is it popping up? Why is it not switching to Pat? Am I having
it is. It's there. It's there. You got it.
Okay, there he is. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Pat. How you doing, brother? Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you and everything you're doing. Slasher Fred is here. Thank you. Pats. You call him Dr. John.
It's Pats. Like it's Pats.
It's Pats.
Anyway, it's Pats.
That's an old school reference. Lancaster will figure
It's
that
time for androgyny. That's
no, Lord, dear Lord. Hey, Slasher Fred, thanks for being here, my friend. Look at Pat throwing down the emojis like a boss. Appreciate that. Zax is here. Another person from the Great White North. Thank you, Zax. Love to hang out.
And his shoulders.
Loki's going to start reading the baseball stats and scores. Maybe he does. Maybe we could do sports. Let's see. Here, Slasher Fred says, what makes this movie so iconic is that even though it's action and adventure, it feels like a horror movie, especially with the devil worshipping plot. Yeah, absolutely. That's actually what I think some of the objection was to the movie, or sort of like if there was any negativity, is that this didn't feel quite the same. And then with Last Crusade, it was so good. This one was kind of felt a little out of place.
Kalima.
That's something that's something that initially with the 3 films is that the first and the third are relics that are from the Bible, and I'm like, but other religions have relics as well. This is something that Indiana would be going for.
Yep,
it wouldn't matter. So, but the biblical references seem to be the more popular ones,
and it's good versus evil. It right. is. It follows the same idea, good versus evil. We're just dealing with a different religion,
right?
Yeah, I don't have any objection to the concept. I think that again, it's just one of those things where like what you connect to and enjoy. And I think the horror element just kind of felt out of place a little bit. But again, it did really well. It was well received at the time, and I remember loved seeing it in the theater. So go ahead, Ironcaster, you're going to jump in.
Oh, just kind of in watching it, I am looking at sort of with that curiosity of I wonder how this would have been received, sort of in certain parts of the world, just with certain elements all kind of rolled in together, how acceptable it would be. Then again, I did find out that the movie's basically just been banned in India for kind of obvious reasons.
Yeah, that really shouldn't surprise you at all based on the content of the movie. So, but we can get more into that too about how it was received, things like that, because of the PG-13 thing that came after this and things like that. So, but Squeaka Mouse is here. She's working. She's lurking, doing her thing. We love you, Squeaka. You got a link. Hopefully you can make it in just to say hi, if nothing else. We appreciate you, Squeaka. Always welcome. So, That Oakwood Mall. Yeah, we could go with the $10, any charges, and dick out that car and sit through 4 showings of Indiana Jones. That's right. You could. Back in the day, man, we would just sit and watch. Yeah. I hear Indiana is the name of the dog. That is true. We get confirmation of that later on for sure.
You know what? Speaking of seeing this in theaters, I saw this a couple years ago and at Alamo, and compared to what we have now in 4K, the 4K looks so much better. It is so much cleaner. The sound's better. Even like versus a theater experience, the 4K is so beautiful and crisp and nice.
Yeah, Lucas and Spielberg are technical people, right? They really were trying to figure out little things to move the ball forward. That's like the mine train thing at the end. For anybody that feels like it was dated or whatever, I was actually more impressed with it running this rewatch, because I always had in my head about feeling it a little dated at times, but I really thought about it because it was super cutting edge at the time. It was like in a magazine. I don't know if it was the Starlog or other magazines. The puppeteering and the stop motion stuff they did at the end with the mine train chase sequence was cutting edge, and that kind of stuff lends itself to be adapted for 4K. Whereas you look at other things, like we may never get 4K of some of our favorite 80s cartoons because they're just not. They kind of just don't adapt well. So yeah,
they don't even. A lot of them don't even exist. A lot of them don't even. They had to like piece together. Transformers is coming up. We're gonna go see that tomorrow. The first 4 episodes, like TV movie. They had to piece that together from different sources because there's just nothing. There's nothing there. They had to clean up audio from tapes, and they didn't have the original. They didn't have the original tapes for the audio and the sound effects. So they just kind of had to piece everything together from scratch. That's crazy.
I wonder how the Thundercats would look and sound.
Again, it depends on source material. So it's the same time frame, right? Where some of that stuff may not exist. I don't know.
It doesn't. So I've got tapes. I've got VHS tapes of the original Thundercats still. And I've got stuff that was on Cartoon Network on disc, right? But the disc compared to what you buy now, the Blu-ray stuff, the Blu-ray stuff doesn't have some of the music in spots that it used to. So the first time Lion-O fights Mumra, that battle music just isn't there. That battle music that they have, it's just not even, and it's a weird fight without that. Dun, 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 dun.
You think they lost the rights?
I know, because it's in different parts. They just forgot that music's in different parts. It's just not cut into the. It's not cut into the Blu-ray, so it's missing in the Blu-ray. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
I miss the Thundercats.
I know. They're still talking about doing a live action one, and I just don't have faith right now that that's a good idea. So I don't know.
As if we need more furry bait out there.
Yeah.
Thundercats are on the move.
So let's ask him, hey brother. He talks about that the Crystal Squad, if they'd done Spear, it's Spear, not Sphere. Spear of Destiny, which is a comic book series, by the way. Go read that. It was talked about doing the Spear of Destiny. They shot it down. I read the script for the Noah Ark one. It was a mess as well. There's 2 or 3 other things that are on the table. There are tons of comic books that you can read. They're great little mini series. That's a nice thing about some of the Indiana Jones stuff that Dark Horse did, was they're like 4 issues, little adventure. The covers are amazing. The interior art, as we've talked about with Dark Horse, doesn't always match. So you can like look at like Star Wars, Heir to the Empire, and that cover, boy, and you open the interior art and you're like, ooh, yeah, not the same guy, obviously.
If you want Atlantis, there is a book, Indiana Jones and the Lost City of Atlantis. There is also a game that Lucasfilm or LucasArts came out with way back in the day, but the game's kind of better than the book. The book kind of drags here and there, but there are adventures on book form for Indiana Jones if you can find them. They are tough to find.
Even beyond just Indiana Jones himself, there are so many stories and characters that have been directly inspired by him that you can directly point to. Laura Croft, her whole franchise is just one big homage and love letter to Indiana Jones. Not to mention it's tons and tons of comics that have been out there full of their own little 4-issue stories there. You have characters like Nathan Drake that have been around. This is one of the cornerstone characters that have been around that have inspired so much so much has come beyond.
Raiders itself is the game changer, right? Because up until then, if you talk to Hollywood, you're going through history. It's like there's like 4 stories to tell, but then Raiders of the Lost Ark came along and they made the fallible hero, right? They made the broken down man that can overcome that. So you become like the 5th story, and so it's such an underrated thing. We really could never do this franchise justice on what it did for changing the game. So, but Pacific 414 is here. Hey Mike, hail to you, brother. Make sure I get through. Nerporio saying Ironcaster. Hot take of the future. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. There's a lot of things there that's been changed and stuff as well. Let's see. Slash says, watching that movie, I've noticed that the opening of the movie kind of feels like a James Bond movie. Yeah, of course. What they were going for sure. 100%. They would do. Spike TV marathons. Yeah, of course.
Spike TV. Wow. Spike TV. That's a dated reference.
Yeah. Real Wade.
Star Wars commercials.
Yeah, there's some good stuff back then, man. Yeah. No time for love, Dr. Jones. Yes, indeed. Romancing the Stone was sort of it's funny how it's a Raiders ripoff, but yeah. But there's just so much that, like the Mummy you just saw in theaters, Loki. That was a lot of stuff there was paying homage to that type of adventure feel thing.
Oh yeah. And the Mummy, the original Mummy and the Abbott Costello Mummy and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they used a lot of. Oh yeah.
Temple of Doom was the first indie film. Yeah, it's great, man. That's good. Recorded on HBO. Oh yeah, good stuff. Melvin's here. Hey, brother. Good to see you. Thanks for popping by. Let's see. And there's Scott again. Let's see. Who did I miss? I'm going to miss up. PKL from across the pond. Hey, brother. What is going on? Raiders may be a superior film, but Temple of Doom is the most rewatchable. Whoa, that's a hot take, PKL. But you know what? I get it. Some people agree with you. I am not with you, but hey, listen, man. That's good. It's cool. I love it. That's why we have to do this. I have to do this, man. Let's see. Corey's here. Hail to Corey. Hopefully you're doing all right, man. Kiwi Kwan in this movie, Short Round, because a year later he played Data. Yeah, Goonies. He was super popular for sure. And then and this is many of us are objecting because this is the direction they could have gone. It's like such a softball on the tee, as Loki and I talk about all the time. To do these reboots, when you have Short Round right there, you could have easily had Short Round as an adult who gets sucked up in an adventure. Everyone wants to go see Short Round, take the baton, not some rando that they come up with. So. Lester is here. Hey, brother. Great to see you.
And you could have used that iconic line again. He could have been lamenting about his ex-wife, and he could have been like, "This is no time to think about love, Dr. Jones." It just writes itself.
But you had to satisfy the scissoring hens. So
yeah.
I'm not that wow.
We have emojis for that. Throw in those scissoring hands for Joker. Make him happy. We have emojis here for that.
You've also got the issue of down the road residuals for introducing these characters, which always plays a factor in this. Everyone wants to go and introduce their own little spin, their own little character, their own little element that then gets cited and referenced, and whenever it's brought up in other ancillary media, always winds up being the thing that.
But they think it does, and it never pans out. I it's so frustrating. You're right, Ironcaster.
You have no idea how bad I just wanted to beat the shit out of Fleabag when at the end of that movie. Because I mean, it's a beautiful idea. Okay, you take out all the rest of the shit in the movie. Indiana Jones ends up back in time in an age that he has studied, that he has loved, that he has looked into, and you're gonna screw that up for him? Nope.
Shame.
I couldn't watch it.
Shame.
I couldn't watch it.
Shame.
So Ironcaster, let's get to that opening scene, that James Bond scene. It got us a couple screenshots we can talk about. This was probably my favorite part to rewatch in the beginning. It got me really into it. I don't say I had trepidations about rewatching the movie. It just got me so excited getting through this opening sequence, and it's so beautifully done. Before this, I just want to give credit to the graphic makers and whoever's idea it is. I don't know if anybody knows whose idea was it. Whenever Mrs. Spielberg steps forward, that she blocks out part of the logo. Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah, it's super cool. Something different to do. Very classic serials type stuff. I loved it. So anyway,
there we go.
I figured it out now.
Brilliant.
I figured it out. Why Kathleen Kennedy became how she was. She was a showgirl in this. She was barely in the scene. She didn't get enough male gaze.
Maybe she saw how Steven and Kate got together, and somehow that scarred her as well. I don't know.
She was jealous because Kate here got to step over to the title. That should have been me.
Wow, that's great, Ironcaster. Wow.
Wow,
Hail to Ironcaster, the take of takes.
I just,
the Kathleen Kennedy take is that should have been me stepping over. Oh, that's brilliant.
Kathleen Kennedy Jones in the Temple of Doom.
I got the ball to the 10-yard line. Ironcaster just grabbed it and just destroyed the end zone after that. Wow.
You fumbled the ball and you thought it was over because the other guy had it, but you didn't realize it was really Ironcaster who took it all the way the rest of the way. It's like, holy cow, that is brilliant.
That was brilliant, sir. That's a clip. You need to clip it and just send that out to. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But no, I love the opening sequence. Like you said, James Bond feel, the back and forth, the adventure feel. It's got sort of a noir feel to it. It just, I don't know. This was just, I was having a blast with the opening sequence of this. It's just so much fun to relive. I really will say that. Yeah.
So
look at that smile. Look at that smile. Okay, so I shit you not, that is my father. That is my father. He had that same exact look, but he had the facial structure, all of it. If you see Raiders at the very beginning of the movie, when he turns around after he uses the pistol for the first time and you see his face, totally looks just like my dad with the hat on, everything. He used to have this Australian hat he'd wear with like the safari, all the safari shit on it. But that look, that smile, that shit, he'd call it the shit-eating grin. Dude, yes, absolutely. Beautiful shot right there.
Nice try, Lao Shay. Goodbye.
Little do we know he's on a Lao Che plane. Oops.
Yes.
Oops. Yes.
There's so much to enjoy out of this opening sequence. Like, I absolutely adore this car.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And then and the way they have short round. Go ahead.
All the time, we always go over just like all these little details, these little touches, things that are done into these films. This car, oh my god! This is a work of art.
And short round driving, and they have a little close shot of him having the wood tied to his foot. Oh, see, we just can't get that kind of stuff anymore.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones, hold on to your potatoes.
He turns his hat. Let's go. It's like little things. It's just so good.
You have a kid driving.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No time for love. And then, of course, the Aykroyd cameo, brilliant. Just makes me smile. Makes me smile when it happens. I really enjoyed that as well. It's always good stuff. It's short round still acting. You're trolling us. Don't even stop. Don't even start.
Stop.
Yeah. Corey is talking about preferring Doom over Crusade because Crusade went so light. Okay, that's fair. And then boom, he's in the gear. Yeah, I can't get. Listen, I'm not with you, Corey, but it's okay. We'll get more to that later. But he's in his gear, and you're like, I love it. And I love the fact that he doesn't even treat the tux with respect. He just rolls it up, tosses it aside. It was a costume to get him what he needed. It wasn't like he had to become the James Bond, even though he looked the part. It was just,
Oh yeah, here I guess.
Mm-hmm. Flying among the chickens. I love it. Good stuff. Now, I will admit, so I the movie's riddled with things that I don't like. So this is why it becomes my third favorite of the three. So you want to get to the raft because I don't care for the raft. I'm like, it's a little much with the raft, but it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the franchise or the movies as a whole.
Okay. But which I can understand, but until you, it's like, okay, that's a little ridiculous. But then you watch films like the Fast and Furious franchise, and now it's like, that's possible. That's a lot more possible. I'm just saying.
I know. So Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's a screen. Yeah, just the fact that they're in the raft and it just drops on the ground and like you know how much that would hurt you. It would just destroy you. Or just there's no real cushion in the raft.
That's
It's
ice.
like
That's not snow. That's ice you're on.
yeah, you're just on land. You just hit ground. You didn't like hit water first. You didn't. Yeah, and then they go like Christmas vacation down the down the slope. So
And of course, I'm looking at this like Disneyland ride.
yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a good time for sure. So yeah.
Well, so I was watching this movie, think of it from the perspective of a role playing game because I'm watching this thinking there's so much in this one movie alone that I want to like basically gotta put in my back pocket to put into an adventure. Like I want to have a 1930s-esque adventure going off and like having players fighting mummies and going on these globe trekking Indiana Jones adventures, and little things like this are the dumb ideas that I could absolutely see players doing in a pinch. Like, there's not enough parachutes. The raft. I'm like, all right, tell you what, if you can roll a 20 here, I'll let you go ahead and like get down safely. And
Right.
Sure as shit, they rolled that 20.
Ironcaster with another hot.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Yeah, well, sure as crap. They that got Andy he rolled a 20 and got the raft. So when you get to they're in the water and they see the Indian tribesmen for the first time, Loki, I have to be honest, I laugh at her overreaction to this guy. She reacts like he's got like half his flesh melting off his face, or he's going to. I mean, she's like, "Ooh!" And you're like, it's just a dude standing there, man. I mean, this poor dude. It's like, it was such an overreaction to that. Anyway, yeah, her reaction's over the top, man.
She does that through like the whole movie, though. It's like every 5 minutes, Indy, and you're like, oh my god, shut up.
Yeah,
just shut up. Stop. There's no reason to bug on me. Yeah, there's bugs all over the place. We got spiders and all kinds of centipedes and shit crawling all over us. Shut up. Quiet.
I can't do it.
Yeah, you better do it or we're all gonna die.
There's dead people. But she just like, she sees this dude and just starts screaming. It's just nuts. So, hey, Mike, thank you so much for that, man. Appreciate it. So it's not the years, but it's the mileage. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. A Raiders reference.
Fortune and
sure.
glory.
So, Penny, thank you so much, lady. Great to see you. So, yeah. All right. So yeah,
and
then we kind of get.
She totally disrespects them with the food. I'm not eating this. He's like, that's more food than these people see in a month. Eat it.
Yeah, and it would just everything about it all in this little sequence with the tribe and all that. It's fine. Look, I'm not trying to hate on this movie because I had no problem rewatching it. I had a very enjoyable time. I liked it way more than I kind of thought I would like it. But like during this whole tribes thing, I was just sort of like over her and just wanting to get to an adventure. Like, can we just get on? I just don't want to deal with her anymore. Indy, I don't really care what you do with her, to be honest. Let them sell her off to the next local tribe. I don't even care, man. I was like, what? Yeah.
Who would want her?
Oh,
she's a pain in the ass. Apparently Spielberg, but like, in this movie anyway, she is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the tribes would want her. She can't wash. She can't cook. They'd return her. You gave us a lemon.
You have to sell her off to a rich sultan because she's an exotic, like unlike any other woman nearby. She's got this bright blonde hair. The skin is pale as snow. Look, she's an exotic beauty.
And annoying as shit with a mouth that doesn't stop.
This is why you sell her before she opens her mouth.
Slasher Fred talks about how this was released first and then they would do remastering, things like that. So, especially with these dark scenes, would look very dark. Yeah. That's Mrs. Spielberg. That's usually how I refer to her. I do not give her the dignity of anything else. So, and she's only breeding stock, nothing more. Very good, G. Very good. Very good. Claude's here. Hey, man. Can you see
bat bait?
So yeah, for me, this is a movie where I watched kind of like Loki had his cut of Karate Kid last week. Pops has a Temple of Doom cut that's probably about 35 to 45 minutes long. I just don't sit through the whole thing. So of the three movies, this is the one I watched the least, like Ironcaster, you kind of mentioned. But more importantly, I'm like, I know how they're going to do this. They need to go get the Rock. Let's get on to the Rock. Let's get to the next part.
But I mean, that's the thing, though. That it's kind of in rewatching this now, I've gotten a lot more appreciation for this from that perspective of this is an RPG session where I sat you guys down, passing the characters out, and you're like, I don't want to play, so whatever. You could be Winnie.
Oh, hell
I don't want to do this.
Can Loki and I both be Winnie? Because I don't want to be Winnie by myself. If we're both Winnie, I'm game, where we can just kind of outwitch each other. Like, the goal is to see how bad we can make Winnie be, and then it will somehow make her invincible that you guys can't kill her off in the adventure. That's what would make it. Otherwise, I'm not playing. I don't want to do it.
Indiana Jones and the impressive girl boss.
Yes, the
Karen.
Yeah.
The scissoring Karen.
Yes, Indiana Jones and the Immortal Karen. Yes, with Mrs. Spielberg.
Indiana Jones in the case of
Mrs.
the
Spielberg,
hens.
played by Kathleen Kennedy, who has to step forward over the logo. See, now we're rewriting another adventure.
It comes full circle.
There you go. Different good. So once they get on the adventure, they're going to go look for the rocks and whatever. That's fine. That's like, all right. I like, even like, the snake around the neck, but it's really the elephant and that kind of stuff. I was like, I just keep moving. So for me, I just kind of keep moving. Let's get on with the cool, Kalima. Let's get on with the stuff. That's what I want to see next. I don't want to deal with Mrs. Spielberg.
Shakti Day.
Okay, so I will say this. Seeing this in a theater, I want to get Joker's take too. Joker, we were so young. I don't know about you. I didn't know this was a prequel. I just wanted to go. I didn't know to see it.
Well,
13 years old, went to go see it.
I
It was just 12. No, it's 13. 13.
12, 13. If this came out in 84, I would have been
84.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have been 13. And then when it's right in the opening scene where it says, Hong Kong, and it gives the year. And I'm like, oh, well, wait a minute. This is before rated. Okay, that's an interesting choice to go before Raiders of the Lost Ark, because I don't think a prequel was even a concept back then to do films out of sequence.
They never mentioned it.
Yeah.
I didn't even, but again, I'm trying to reflect on 13-year-old Pop seeing this. I didn't pick that up. I didn't know Raiders well enough to pick that up at that point. Obviously, once you got the VHS copies and you're watching these things like back to back to back, you're like, oh, well, clearly it's so. But you're absolutely right. The concept of doing prequels and things like that was definitely not a thing, and I think it was their way of trying to figure out how to make this work and really add to the Indiana Jones lore without messing up with his growth, right? So anyway, so as we get into the next phase is where I will say everybody talked about in school. Everybody talked about it on Ironcaster. No shock maybe to now, but at the time, snake surprise, monkey brains, forget about the bugs. It was all of that. And I'm talking about that was Monday at school. Did you go see it? Of course I went to go see it. What was up with Snake Surprise? And I'm like, I didn't know it was a thing, but now I know. Now I know.
The best part of that scene was the guy who's sitting next to sitting next to.
Yeah, that's the Loki of this. Loki of this.
Oh, chewed monkey brains.
Snake surprise. What's the surprise?
And out they came, and you're
surprise.
And in the theater, we're all sitting there like this, like. Because that is for our age group. Again, this is PG movies. This is not PG-13 yet because of this movie and Gremlins, right? You take out people's hearts and you have Snake Surprise and you do all this stuff in this movie and you put Gremlins in microwaves. You end up with a rating saying they call Spielberg and ask him and he's like, yeah, make a PG-13. Blah 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 blah. He takes credit for it. None of that's totally true or not, but that he takes a lot of credit for it. But PG movies, we got boobs, but we didn't get this.
Yeah, little known fact, this is apparently Klaus Schwab's favorite movie.
Gee. Wow.
I wonder
on
why.
fire tonight. Oh, goodness gracious me. Tomato soup with eyeballs. Yes, Corey. It was like, what? And that's all we talked about. So, like, Monday after the weekend that this movie opened, we didn't get anything done in school. All we did all day was talk about Temple of Doom, that meal, the chase scene. Indiana Jones was our hero. That was all we talked about all day long, for sure. The original prequel, that's a sequel, indeed.
The dude eating snakes.
Oh, yeah. He's, you're like, what?
Oh, dessert. A chilled monkey brains.
And it was funny because I think for our age group, we were the age group because of VHS tapes where the curtain got pulled back earlier than it should have been for us to know all these crazy movies and things like this existed, because we ended up with like Faces of Death on VHS and things like that. We ended up getting down the rabbit hole because of VHS. We could find this stuff sooner. But from the theater point of view at 13, hadn't quite got a lot of VHS yet. There's kind of coming into place. I had an uncle who had been in Korea, so yes, we had VHS tapes, but that wasn't this movie yet. But this movie in a theater was like, wow. So yes.
Melvin has a statement. I think Temple of Doom is set a few years before the events of Raiders.
Loki, do you know for sure? I don't remember exactly how many years it's supposed to. I thought it was 2 or 3
years. Yeah, it's a couple years before Raiders.
I want
to go back and watch them. The dates are there. Melvin, I'm not totally sure. So no, there was no back then a monkey head bucket. Could you imagine them doing an AMC popcorn bucket like that? That's brilliant, by the way. People would buy it.
It needs to be a little sherbet cup with the little top that pops off. That way you have your little chilled monkey brains.
Goodness gracious.
We don't know. No, we do not need that. We didn't need the Doom butthole bucket. We didn't need monkey brain.
So Mike, you meant PG-13. It's this and Gremlins. And there's an interview you can look up with Spielberg. He talks about it briefly, but yeah, he got the call. He had to fight for this to get through the way it was. He produced Gremlins. He didn't direct it, but same thing. His blood is literally on the hands of the PG rating to push things through. But they're like, okay, listen, a lot of people are a little like, hey, listen, I didn't want my 8-year-old to see Snake Surprise and Monkey Brains and watch the gremlin blow up in a microwave. We need to change something. Hence the reason we got PG-13. So it's the two of them together that got Red Dawn the PG-13 rating.
So according to
ripping the heart out.
Yeah, the heart. Yes, the food. Yeah, go ahead, Ironcaster.
So according to the Indiana Jones Wiki, which is the most reputable, source of Indiana Jones lore, it is called Primate Parfait.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Oh, Jesus. That's so much worse than what we were even saying. That's way worse than what Loki and I were saying. We're like, we're ready to put like snow cones in the thing, and now you're like, oh, it's a parfait. Who doesn't like parfait? I know exactly where Ironcaster's brain's going. Dear Lord. Chris or Pat, if you guys could track down my friend's link here. He's a brand new YouTuber, maybe 100. He's literally one of the, listen, I know guys, I know we're not huge Disney, what they're doing right now, but they do it and they go around, they take people around the parks and like that. I just think people need to just do stuff they enjoy. They enjoy doing theme park stuff. He's new at doing it. Throw his link out there. If you don't mind just having that kind of stuff, he loves doing shorts. So they're like, a few minutes long, that kind of thing. Just cool dude doing his thing, man. I appreciate him so much. He's been a cool friend for so long. And
one of my good YouTube friends, Tom the Rogue attraction, big Disney park guy, park hopping. So, and hey, do what you love, folks. Do what you love. This is why we do this on this little platform here.
One of the first women I had on for Women of the Fandom back in the day, my first year I was doing all this, was Lorena Creel. And she loves going to the theme park, doing the theme park thing. Just because I don't like Disney and I'm done doesn't mean I'm like, girl, go out and conquer and destroy and kick some butt and take some names.
Amen.
So Lorena's great. And
Lorena's beautiful. She came out to see us, like Pops. Pops came out to see us when we were on a honeymoon. Lorena came out to see us while we were on honeymoon. Had a great time with them both. And
Awesome.
Lorena's great. Pops is great. All these people are great. Just because
you still need to come to Vegas.
So
we are planning
had
on
me on.
doing that. Just not. It's not
Okay.
gonna be this
we
year.
have to figure out
because
the
we got
talk hard
something
adventure. But before anybody knows, just so you know, I want to see Joker's face because Joker probably hadn't heard the story. So we are there with Mrs. Pops and the Mrs. Loki, and we're hanging out. We're walking around, and I kid you not, out of nowhere, these teenage girls go up to Loki. Can we take your picture? And I'm like, what in the name of Holy Hannah is happening? Well, he's dressed in Slytherin from head to toe. Okay. So they're on a scavenger hunt to get one from each house. He is the river. Now, at this point, mind you, he has not had a face reveal on YouTube other than like maybe one or two scattered things.
Right.
So they literally had like the secret photo of Loki and didn't even know who he was other than this. I mean, it was my brain just went like this. It was so great. It was totally rad. Oh yeah, they were on a Slytherin hunt the whole trip.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
but it was such a fun experience to see the look. They walked away and I told them they have no idea what they actually have on their phone, do they? They have the picture of you that everyone on the internet wants to see.
Everybody would want to see. And we got bugged. We got bugged the whole trip because she's a Gryffindor. And I'm a Slytherin. So she had to. She's rocking
Nobody's
the red. I'm
perfect.
rocking the green. And you guys really together? Yeah, we just got married. That is so odd. I'm like, why?
Yeah. All right. So
You
are there
get all the
screenshots
popular houses.
Are there screenshots of a snake surprise and all that kind of stuff?
Oh,
Just to
yes.
briefly say we did it, because let's just.
Oh yes, and
dear Lord,
then I went
it was shocking.
and then I started going on a little eBay hunt.
Oh no!
What'd you find?
Oh no!
Oh,
Chilled monkey brain bowl.
yeah.
It probably is
Oh.
one, yeah, because that company that makes those little tiki cups, they make tiki cups for everything. I bet they probably had one. I forget the name of that
boy.
company, but they make tiki stuff of everything.
Well, I found someone went and made a 3D print of it, and they sell those.
Wow, that's
Oh, my.
disturbing on so many
Wow.
levels.
Oh no! No!
dear Lord. Dear Lord.
No.
Okay, let's get on with Kali Ma. So if it's not bad enough with the monkey brain thing, I'll be demonetized by Thursday at this point. No, so listen. So seriously, what is so get to so Kali Ma. So this was really
The Dougies.
pretty cutting edge, if you will,
Dougies.
right, Joker? I mean, it was really I don't want to say it was shocking exactly, but it was like, because I think as a little boy, teenage boy, it was like cool. We were down for it. We didn't really care about the India religion. We're like, this is what's happening. We're like, whoa, that's wild. That kind of thing was our reaction. So I'm sure it's like, I think I went with my mom. I don't think my grandmother took me to this, but my grandma would have been freaking out a little bit. I think what Ironcaster you were saying earlier, I think grandma would have freaked out. Mom was like, yeah, whatever. But yeah. What was your reaction? What was Monday like for you, Joker? Was it like what we were talking mostly about this scene, to the snakes, to the mine? What was right at the top of your mind? So
mine was it kind of was the heart. That was the theme, and being a 13-year-old and the Winnie's outfits were kind of topic of conversation as well. So I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
So Chris, here's the thing: context matters. I am totally game to do it if it's going to upset the right kind of people. But I'm not going to do it like Mrs. Pops being mad at me. It's not worth the fight. Right? I don't want to upset the grandkids. Whatever. Now I get to just randomly show up and hang out with Joker, and he doesn't know it's going to happen. And I just whip out the fact that I had the little monkey thing, open it up, and just start throwing down some strawberry ice cream. And the look on his face, someone's got a phone, they get that for that moment, totally worth it. But just to do it randomly, there you go. Context matters, Chris. Just saying. Yes.
Someone makes a chilled monkey brains T-shirt. I need to have this now.
That's
chilled monkey brain.
That's
chilled monkey brains.
What did you guys think about? So I know we've been having so much fun. We haven't got back to the movie. What did you think about the fact that literally, like, Short Round can just use the torch on the belly to undo the magic? I thought that was just, and even on the rewatch, I was like, that was pretty weak, but okay.
Fire and purity. So purity through fire. They're purifying them through the fire. So it kind of makes sense. That's one of the weaker points of the movie where I can just go, you know what? I get it. It kind of makes sense. The fire, the snapping him out of it using the fire because fire is supposed to purify, but it's still weak. The explanation's there and I'll accept it, but weak sauce. It's like one of those Jeopardy answers where it's like not exactly correct, but we will accept the answer. Go ahead, Joker.
I also don't think I also kind of give it a pass because it was kind of discovered. He kind of figured it out by accident. So I'm not really gonna. So I'm not gonna nitpick that.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean,
he didn't know it was going to work, right? He's swinging the torch around. He hits somebody else. He sees something change. All right, if I'm going to shoot this on Indy, it works, right? I get that. Yeah.
Right.
What about the voodoo doll stuff? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The guy's still talking and breathing and functioning after having his heart torn out. That's a bit of a stretch.
He just closes right up.
Yeah.
Well, did he really have his heart out, or was that an illusion of the stone? Was that an illusion? Was it the fear that killed him? Was it the drop into the lava? Did he ever really pull his heart out, or was that just an illusion? Because we see the up close part from their perspective, the worshipers, but we never see like Indy and them actually see him having his heart ripped out. So was that just their belief running away with them with what they were seeing, or did he really do that? Did he really rip the heart out and do the magic?
I mean, the Molaram had a beating heart in his hand,
but he doesn't do that to Willie. He doesn't do
to Willie, right?
Yeah, he doesn't do that with Willie.
Because
Thor doesn't have a heart. We talked about that.
And that would have been grabbing boobs. And you're already at the PG-13, you're really starting to.
Well, it's also a show of power at that point. He's effectively done it to make his point to the cult that he has the power. How many times does he need to do it?
That's right.
Yeah.
So the stone is a reality, Jen. Huh. All right.
I'm just saying the stone's supposed to have this magical power. And like when Indy gets it back and brings it back, all the water starts running, nature starts coming back and all that. Yeah. It's one of those things I always wondered, okay, is he really doing this? Are they just seeing him do this because they've been drinking the naughty blood and they're under this guy's spell? Like Indy
They didn't drink it when they saw the other guy happen to the other guy, right? Because they responded.
Well, so Indy and them were back up in the catacombs,
right?
So they're like looking down from a long way away. That you don't really know what they saw, but you see the up close scene of them doing it because that's kind of from the followers' perspective. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying it did. I'm just saying it's one of those possibilities where these followers that are surrounding him, they think that he did this. He's got them hoodwinked, and I'm magic, and I can do all this magical stuff using the stone, but they're up here and they don't quite see everything.
But then we also have voodoo.
Yeah, what's with the Scooby-Doo voodoo doll? Because I didn't care for the Scooby-Doo voodoo doll thing. Like that didn't age well either. I still didn't like it. I didn't like it then, don't like it now.
I didn't care for the kid. I mean, he seemed to enjoy that a little too much.
Yeah, it's a bit odd that they go and introduce him as this kind of this sultan, this Raja, and he's supposed to be this high, powerful, being, only to sort of be this little voodoo kid over here. That then again, I suppose there's sort of an irony to it where he's made out to be this big leader, but here he is under the control of it. Now he's a lowly servant, which does kind of work.
That part works fine. The fact that he just threw together an indie voodoo doll and just like he's enjoying it like literally like a Scooby-Doo, like it's Zombie Island, man. I'm like, what is happening? So, anyway, long story short, I just get to adventure. So once we get to the adventure and Indy starts busting his way out of there, we get to the mine cars. I just enjoy all of that and him, like them trying to figure out how can we cast a completely giant human that should be able to easily destroy our hero, and then to come up with a bizarre yet grossly disturbing way for this guy to die, because he just gets ground up because we see that's some really good stuff though, because I love the idea of that. That's like that's us sitting around the writing room and going, okay, but Loki, I gotta find a dude that's like 6'8". Okay, Ironcaster, we gotta figure out a way that we're gonna take this guy out. But all right, nobody's 6'8". He's like 200 to 280 pounds to 300 pounds. It's a big. So it's like I love the fact that they do that again, kind of like the first movie with the stunt director guy at the airplane, right? So we have the same kind of thing, right? We have to deal with that character before we can get on the mind chase thing, because that's more like crazy adventure type stuff. I just loved all that. So, Ironcaster, I am so sorry because I keep forgetting that you're sharing things. It's my fault because the silly StreamYard puts it down a level. I keep forgetting.
Don't worry, it's just Loki.
Kalima.
Kalima.
Molly. Molaram. Tularam. Molaram.
No.
I'm not kissing the skull. No.
The dirty blood.
Yeah, the dirty blood.
And you will like it. You will like it, Mr. Jones.
You don't believe me.
Scooby Doo voodoo doll.
You don't believe me, Dr. Jones. You will believe me. You will become a true believer.
Like Scoob, I think we're in the wrong movie.
Ironcaster he's just like bink.
He's on fire tonight. Scott Westbrook becoming a member. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, man. That's so awesome, man. You've been partnering with us and helping us out. We appreciate that. So, movie's one of the best dinette sets ever. That bowl of chill. Yeah, we went on and on about all that, my friend Bobby. I don't know what to tell you, man. So, and the mine car would make a great ride. Indeed. Yes.
It stinks nobody ever brought that to a theme park. The ride,
No.
Well, I am not.
It's different.
I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. The Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland is the best ride in that entire park.
All right. So do you have the crazy guy that Indy does best? The giant guy.
Yes, the giant Indian.
Oh, don't have a gun this time.
That was a great. Actually, that sequence was probably some of the best because there's 3 callbacks, like boom, boom, boom. Right, goes for the gun, doesn't have it. It's like just the whip to the hand. It's just everything about it. There's like 3 callbacks, like right after one another. It's just great.
Well, that's all accident. That's all stuff that happened that they had to deal with in the first movie that was completely out of their control. Indy was supposed to fight the big guy. He's supposed to have this big fight in the square in the first movie in Raiders, and he's so sick because he had dysentery or something.
They all had dysentery.
He was so sick that and dehydrated. There was like, there's no way I can do this. And they're like, well, how about this? Just pull your gun out and shoot him. Perfect. I'll just pull my gun out and shoot him. And
they shot it. The crew fell down dying, and they decided we're good. Everyone was sick as a dog. Yes, go ahead.
So you get this lovely scene in this movie where he goes to go. I'm gonna pull my gun out. I'll just blast his ass. Oh, it ain't there. Crap. All right, let's go, biggin.
Yes. Mine car shenanigans.
Yes.
So good.
I have to admit, I had negative thoughts in my head, but on the rewatch, I really, really enjoyed all this. I actually thought it was so much better than I thought.
I actually liked, and going back to the fight scene with the big guy and everything. I mean, Harrison Ford, I guess maybe a bit of overacting whenever the kid would stab the voodoo doll, and Harrison Ford's reactions to being stabbed was just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, they were very, very like over the top every single time. It was, but you know what? It was fine. I didn't dislike any of that. I thought it all worked itself out okay for what they were trying to go for.
Well, and it pays.
Pat Roach. Hold on here. So Pete. First off, hey Pete, how you doing? Big fella is Pat Roach. He was one of Dad's old army boxing buddies back in the '60s. Every time my telly, my dad would go, Patty! Ha, 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 ha. Oh, man, that is such a cool story. Thanks for sharing that, Pete. Pat Roach. Huh. Interesting. Cool. Indiana Jones ride would be great for Animal Kingdom. There's no more Dino Land. Oh, yeah, Dino Land had a little coaster thing, too, at one point. So, yeah, putting in a little indie thing. Yeah. Food poison. Yeah, everybody was sick. Spielberg didn't eat or anything with water. He had bottled water or something like that. He didn't eat any real food. So, yeah, this is that Army story. That's great to hear. Thank you so much. All right. So Scott says, I got home and realized I hadn't upgraded. The stream was great to listen to on the drive home. Great discussion. Thanks, my friend. Yeah, appreciate you rejoining up and being here to support us. Appreciate you so much. Yes, it never stopped. It just kept going. It was the overacting. It just keeps on giving.
Yes. Wonderful.
But the best part is that at the end, one short round, because there's the one fist, next fist, one fist next for short round. But just they cue the music perfectly. They just do such a great sequence. It's so good. Enjoy it. But the idea, like you said, look, they got to work in these type of callbacks and payoffs and things like that. I think Temple of Doom doesn't get credit for doing that so well, especially with this.
There it is, right there.
Yep.
Well, like with the screaming and the overacting, when they revolt at the end of the movie, they've heard him screaming. They heard all that. You see these kids like they're huddled up next to each other and they're hearing Indy scream and go through all this torture. So when like the revolt happens, these kids are like, all right, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. They know what's going on.
Yeah, they went Ewoks, man. It's totally crazy, man. Oh yeah, here's the other callback too. I lifts it up like and then, oh wait, they're all coming at him. He's got to run. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Knives for sale.
Knives.
It's a joke.
Oh, that's the best. Knives for sale. Do I have that queued up in here? No, I have to find it. So good. Knives for sale is a classic moment.
I'm glad I got to share that with you guys because that's one of those scenes. Even 20 years ago now, I'm still laughing my ass off about Knives for Sale. So I'm so glad.
That is our biggest talk hard of all time. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. We talked about that. Really? It's by far our biggest talk hard of all time. It doesn't get a lot of watch time, but evidently the way it's served up to people searching for something, it pops up a lot. People watch the first few minutes or whatever, or they watch X amount of time of it. So yeah, maybe we'll do some shorts from it and see if that triggers anything like that. But yeah, it's just one of those movies that most people haven't heard about. Ong Bak. Ong Bak was a great treat, Loki, for sure.
Muay Thai warrior.
Yes, him jumping through panes of glass. I'll never forget. And the look on my face. I wish we'd captured my live reaction of watching that for the first time because it was like, oh, what in the name? Yeah. It's good. Ong Bak.
The hoop of barbed wire.
The hoop of barbed wire.
Yes, Knives for Sale, Indy.
Soon after this, we're on the bridge. Sure. Shorty. Chow Chi. Gatutante. Hang on, lady. We go for a ride.
We go for a ride. Oh, that's great.
God. Oh my God. Is he nuts? He no nuts. He crazy.
Crazy.
Molaram, prepare to meet Kali in hell. The first swing, and everyone and he's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No.
Yeah, this was done really, really well. I was really loving sequence of this. Like I said, this is one of these things where I can jump over pieces in that first half of the movie, but this latter half of the movie with these different things like that, they're fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And I will say, look, I don't see overacting with Harrison. I just think he just really brings so much with the role. I mean, it's so good.
And then you fall down, and if you're unfortunate enough to not be hanging on, you fall into crocodiles. That's
gators.
A bad way to go. That's a bad way to go.
Don't get eaten by the gators.
Yeah, because I don't think on the vacation plan Death Roll was on the itinerary.
Yeah, I love the fact that they went out and got some stock footage of actual crocs like rolling with meat. Like they went and got things. Give them some more, So I don't know where that was filmed. I'm sure that one of you guys in chat can find some trivia for us and get us that, because it just seems they went and found some good beef footage of crocodiles and pieces of costuming that looks, and just it would look really good. I'm like, wow, they don't do that anymore. They'll CGI that crap in there, and now, yeah, it looks a little rough. The people falling from the
Right.
the bridge, it looks a little rough. Didn't age particularly great. I love it conceptually. The idea, especially when he grabs the one guy and tries to drop him on Indy. I was like, oh, that is fantastic. That was so great. You just learned your place, my friend.
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Meat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. This was great. This is great stuff. I really enjoyed this a lot.
The stones are mine, Dr. Jones. You betrayed Shiva. Shiva.
So let's ask
about $100.
Yes, it's about $100 for a
I've
nice
got one. If you get an actual Indiana Jones hat, the actual Indiana Jones fedora, the licensed one, it's about $100.
Yeah. You
can get a cheap one for like $30-$40, but if you get a licensed one, run you about $100.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I know we only have like 20 minutes left. I have a couple show and tell items, maybe. So we'll get to that.
Yeah, so I guess that kind of wraps it up.
It goes pretty well. There's a quick little thing about with the holding each strap on the bag, right? And then Wendy just starts,
chanting,
recounting the chant, right? And they start lighting up on us and melting the bag. And
you betrayed Shiva.
It was a little silly, right? Because the one guy he grabs it, he bumps his hand, so then it's suddenly not hot, and he just like, okay, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I just let it go.
And for a character who's pretty much, I think would be safe to say is a agnostic at best, for him to know these religious invocations and have the, I guess, faith enough to know that it's gonna work is, I mean, I would say, is Indy a man of faith, or is he a man of faiths? Plural.
They explain that. They explain a lot of that in the Young Indiana Jones stuff. So if you've never, I don't know if you ever watched any of that. It's a great little series you can watch. It was canceled, unfortunately, way too soon. But he traveled with his parents when he was like a kid, when he was a little kid. And then when he got older, it was just him and his dad, or it's just him. But they went all over the world with his dad on these expeditions. So he got to experience, Oriental culture and India culture and all these different cultures all over the world because of his dad and what his dad did.
Gotcha.
So it's a good little series if you've never seen it to watch. It was, man, I was a kid when it came out, so it's been a long time. But like he gets sick and has to go through acupuncture when he's like 8 years old, and then it fast forwards to when he's 16 and riding in Mexico, all kinds of crazy stuff. So
that's awesome. Cool.
And there are little hints there are little tidbits in The Last Crusade where he'll just throw out a line. I can't remember what it was. Like, oh, I knew him. That he actually met him in the series. So there's little Easter eggs in Last Crusade.
And that was the series that starred River Phoenix, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is this Minnesota Cuke? A great VeggieTale reference from AC across the pond. Appreciate that, AC. Awesome. And when the bride fell, leader says, "What have I done?" and falls on the plunger. Great AC. Okay. Bought my hubby that indie hat. Yes. Oh, he doesn't have it. Oh, bummer.
Oh.
Humming that song. Yeah, that's an addictive theme music. It's addictive music for sure. Yeah, Young Indiana Jones Chronicles would be good. Love to see that again. ZBR is here. Oh man, ZBR.
From the greatest composer of our lifetime.
Indeed. Well,
John
maybe of all
Williams.
time. I mean, it's like, what, Leonard Bernstein kind of thing. Like who else are you gonna put John Williams with? He surpassed everything and then some.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I mean, literally, like my movie going life. The themes are from John Williams. You got Harry Potter here. You got Indiana Jones. You got Superman. You got Star Wars. You have the Olympic theme that is now used in every Olympics that was done in the '84 games. So it's everywhere. Jaws.
They even make a joke about that in Blue Harvest for Family Guy, because they're like, John Williams, and he's playing the theme to Tatooine when they're on Tatooine. Well, when his family gets killed, they burn down John Williams. They burn John Williams in the orchestra. And he's like, man, now we got to do this movie with Danny Elfman. Dum. And you're like, yeah, you can't John Williams. Anything John Williams did, there is no replacing John Williams.
He's gold.
Oh, I remember Hysterical. That's good stuff. Yeah, indeed. Hey, Dwayne. Good to see you too, buddy. All right, Caster. So where did you come away with this? Because you were talking about how this is one that you don't watch a ton. Did this kind of reignite? Hey, listen, I maybe haven't been giving this movie a fair shake.
Yeah, this is really right in line for me for sort of a lot of kind of aesthetically kind of what I'm wanting to get into more with a lot of kind of storytelling stuff. I'm coming back to this with a sort of fresh set of eyes. Sort of. It's almost
sorry, Pops. I didn't remember I had that up. I'm sorry. I just had to get up and readjust for a minute, and I was like, "Oh crap! Sorry. I'm sorry."
There's almost a kind of quasi hipster-ish, like, well, it's the biggest, it's the best. It's kind of like is it overrated? I kind of often wonder for kind of Indiana Jones in general that coming back to it after been so long without seeing any of it, I have a new sense of appreciation for the franchise, and it's in a way kind of reigniting a drive to kind of delve into sort of that era of entertainment, that little era of history, because so much happens in that kind of between World Wars 1 and 2 that this is like right within that prime pulp setting for me. So it's got to be kind of bust up my copy of Amazing Adventures, which is basically just Indiana Jones.
That's great. That's good. Yeah, no, I think it. We see a lot. We see this even with like the part of Stargate, right? You see it with mummy hunting and pyramids and treasure hunters and just all of this kind of stuff. And this movie just lends itself so much to that. Joker, you jumped at a chance to be here with us for Temple of Doom. What was it? What's your take home on this movie, man? How does it fit for you?
I love this film. I mean, I love these three films. I know folks think this is the worst of the three. I disagree. I think I would definitely say that Raiders is one of the greatest films ever made. But but knowing that where this fits in Indiana Jones's history, you don't get Raiders unless you have Temple of Doom. So this is just kind of just part of his story, and I love these films. I absolutely love them. I love them all equally. I might give Last Crusade just a tinge of a nod because of Connery, who was just gold, absolute fucking gold. Sorry, pardon my French there.
That's blasphemy.
But yeah, I love these films. Absolutely love them. I can't say enough good things about them. I mean, these are quotable films that that if you just say a quote and it's like, yeah.
Soul Assassin's going to go 8 on this. 8 monkeys. Wow.
Oh.
Monkey brains are tasty. I don't even want to know, AC. Not sure. ZBR's going Crusade, Doom, and Raiders. Wow.
Ooh,
that is a hot take,
there,
my friend.
That is a
John
take.
Williams. Yes. Lost in Space theme, alien shows, 60s and stuff for the Boston Pops. Yeah. Tons of stuff. Loki, where are you at on the ranking of the Indiana Jones? How did this film hold up for you on the rewatch?
I am here to view the tapestries. How dare he? You know what? This is weird. This could sound weird, so nobody freak out or anything. Weird. For me, Raiders and Last Crusade are tied as the two best movies. Unfortunately, that makes this last, but that doesn't mean that it is not a hell of a movie and a hell of a ride. I hate that this is just a hair below Raiders, because if it wasn't, it'd be the perfect trilogy. They're all badass. Unfortunately, because of Willie and that it gets a little lower. I don't like Willie. I really don't. I love Short Round. I think Indy's great. I think the rest of the movie's great, but Willie is annoying as shit, and I hate it. And I understand that's what she's supposed to be. She's their Indy, but nobody else did that. When the rats were crawling through Homegirl's hair, and your father would have hated this. He hated rats. Even the Fräulein, that is how Austrians say goodbye. She didn't like completely flip the heck out. She had rats going through trying to eat her scalp.
Yeah.
And she didn't flip out like that. So because of Willie, it just misses the mark because of Willie. But Last Crusade and Raiders are always going to be neck and neck. My two favorite indie movies. You can talk about the other movies, but we really don't like to talk about it. But because of the last movie, Crystal Skull's kind of become more acceptable in our space to go, you know what? I gave it a little too much shit. Even though it's a bad movie, it's not as bad as Fleabag's Dial of Dysentery. So
I'm not doing it. I still have a friend who liked it. He's shocked that I haven't watched this. I'm just not watching it. I'm good. There's 3 movies for me. I don't even want to acknowledge my experience at 4. No, Raiders is like a perfect film. It only ages and gets better. I lived through like The Last Crusade. Like it came out at like my Nexus era, watching a theater opening night, that kind of stuff. I had this massive poster, the whole thing. Let me see where they're at.
I had the glasses, the water glasses.
So I had these.
I think Burger King.
So when we were at our age, Joker, to get something put on the poster board like this, the foam board, it was pretty expensive. Yeah. So I had the whole movie poster, and I had 4 little stills. And I still have the 4 stills from Last Crusade.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, so I still have my 4 stills on their poster board.
That's awesome.
I had them done at a place called Off the Wall. It probably paid way too much, but I mean, I just
probably
right.
That's awesome.
And then when it came out, when Crystal Skull came out, yes, I got a crate Monopoly. My wife loves Monopoly games, so when it came out in a crate, I had to have a crate. Oh God, dear. And it has all the cool tokens. It has really cool tokens, right?
And Chris in the chat, I think the Marianne is greater than every female in the indie franchise. Marion is just the best.
Oh yeah. So Karen Allen, she's the only reason that we care about, the love interest, because he ends up with Marion. So, and then
the Fräulein, she was hot. She was evil, but the only problem I have with that is she talks when she snores. She talks when she snores.
Oh, I love the fact that she seduced the dad too.
And you're
she's
like
an Uber spy, man.
That's
she's
awesome.
an Uber spy. Like she is the boss. Like it's so great.
She is Jane Bond. She's Jane Bond.
Yeah. So what I will do as a promise to this stream, because we kind of like squeezed this in and we did all this before because I'm in the middle of redoing everything, as you can tell. And now Star Wars is getting put in for Star Wars month. I did not get it out. So I will do a short. I will share it with all 3 of you, and you in chat, keep an eye out for the Old Pops channel. I have in the closet. It's in the very top in a box.
It's in the closet.
It's in the closet. I got to pull. It's got to come out of the closet. When it came out, the VHS tapes were on sale at Kmart, and it has a little display. It's a little cardboard display, and I said, "Hey, can I have that?" And I sure as crap still have that freaking display, an original display from the 80s. right there
Nice.
in the top shelf in the box. But it's a lot to get down, and it's a lot to, fragile. Don't want to mess that baby up. So I will do it as a short.
Italian.
It is, yeah. So it is. It's so much. I'm afraid to leave it out. It's never been on display because I'm afraid
decompose.
No, I'm going to knock it over. So I'm like, I broke Star Wars banks. This has been a topic of discussion in the house. Is that I broke Star Wars banks, and it's like, yeah, you just think accidents happen when things are out. I just dropped a comic book the other day. Fortunately, it was a cheap one, but it still hit the floor.
Oh my god!
It's just ruins the corner. It's like, I mean, I could have it pressed and clean, but it's like a couple $1 book. It's not worth it. But it's
I'm gonna let you in on this. There was what was it at the Vegas meet? At the Vegas meet, Alex, the head of the Salty Nerd podcast, in a drawing, got the Ripperverse comic from Alpha Core number 1, okay. autographed by Chuck.
Okay,
autographed
signed
by
by Chuck.
Okay, Dixon. He goes, sits down, opens up the plastic, just pulls it out, and just goes, and just starts.
Okay.
Each their own. Do not do that.
You can get a cheap copy for that. For those of you who don't understand why we're reacting, is like for that, it ends up on the wall. Like my Joe Frankenstein that's signed right over there. It's in a case. It's over there. Okay. The one I want to read, it's in the box in there. That's you can open it up. It has stress. You just.
That was everyone's look when Alex just opened it up. Everyone was just kind of like, and he's like, "What? It's a book."
I know.
I'm like,
and Joker's
no.
Joker's heard the story because of his affinity for Joker. So Noob Reviews is like, she literally had not been doing comic book stuff for more than probably a few months. She was going to open. She opens her Killing Joke. It turned out to be an actual first print. Because I went, whoa, stop. Don't open that one. I said, did you pay like at least $20 or more for that? Yes. It says, don't open that one. Go buy one to put. I think that one might be a first print. Yeah. Get a hardcover. But again, not everybody cares. I get it. To each their own. But yeah, I have a hard time. So yeah, the Indiana Jones display does not come out. I'll do a video. I didn't know where to put it because everything's been in shuffle here. But yeah, I got the crate. The crate is a Monopoly. I think someone asked what it is. It's a Monopoly game. It's never been opened. It's Crystal Skull. It has the Grail Diary and the whip and the gray. So it's super cool. We talked about opening it, whatever. And I'm like, we'll play one of the other Monopoly games instead. How about that?
Let's pull out the Lord of the Rings.
I have two that are still. I have the Christmas Story, the original Christmas Story Monopoly that came out briefly, and I gave my daughter Nightmare Before Christmas because that one actually was expensive. She wanted it as a display, but guys, it's been great, man.
By the way, did anyone notice that in response to the Rings of Power trailer being dropped today, that the Warner Brothers dropped their House of the Dragon season
1 hour after?
They're waiting for it.
Oh yeah.
That's some class A trolling. That is just
the Mad Lads did it. The Mad Lads did it.
Well done, Zach. Aslov. You do not get enough credit, sir.
And it has been great to do this. Everybody, make sure you check out everybody's channels. All the links will be in the description, so you can get to everything there. Joker, give everybody a head up because your schedule has gotten completely insane. I don't even know how to connect with you sometimes now. You're doing so many shows, so much stuff. Remember the days when Joker just did like one video a week? He's like, I'll try to do 2 at some point. Like, I'll kind of be a YouTuber, Now he's everywhere.
Yeah, I just passed like 625 subs. I am less than 300 hours from getting monetized, so I'm like trying to get as much stuff out as I can. Monday you can catch me on a show called just from I simulcast from another channel where we talk about we went through the entire series of Game of Thrones. We're going through House of the Dragon and going right into House of the Dragon season 2. Wednesday you can catch me. I have another show then, which I have added WWE content to my repertoire because let's face it, professional wrestling is more entertaining than Hollywood is now. So I've gone.
His coverage is scripted.
Yes, it is. It's fine. This guy.
But his
So-
Monday last week in the news is as I call it, must tube content. It's fantastic. Great job on those. Make sure you get that. It's the best.
And then Thursday you can usually catch me with Roman of the Empire. That's always a fun time. Just watching Roman have meltdowns because we've introduced scissors onto his show, and the panel just keeps growing with more and more scissors, and Roman has a meltdown every time, and it's wonderful. Yes, thank you, Ironcaster. But yeah, and then I do at least 3 videos a week, and I'm on 3 to 4 streams a week. So I'm a busy guy, busy guy on top of my 9 to 5, which is actually midnight to 8 a.m. job, 5 days a week. So, but yeah, like Pop said, my link is in the description. I need hours. Watch my content. I got playlists. You can just put on a playlist and go vacuum the house. It's fine. I don't mind.
Well, Matt Riley, it's been great having you with us. Loki, it's every day. It is 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Tomorrow, YouTube Talk. How's everything else going the rest of the week? What's going on? What's the plan?
Tomorrow, YouTube Talk, we'll be talking about, what you can do to enhance your own channel, work on the stuff you're working on. This is not going to be a people are being poodoo heads or any stupid shit like that. So it'll be like, these are tools you can use. The promotion tab obviously is doing wonders for some people. We're gonna be positive. We're on a good positive streak. I just got I know, right? Ironcaster, it's so weird. I just got a Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power season 2 trailer reaction out that has gone gangbusters, and blown up today. So I'm really happy about that. But guys, seriously, if you haven't subscribed to this Joker's channel down here, see what I did? It's a dad pun. This Joker. Subscribe to him because, guys, he's been around forever. He's working really hard. He's doing it the hard way. Okay, there's some of us, we do things the hard way. We work our way up. We fight. We're scrappers. And this guy right here is a fighter and a scrapper. So make sure you check out his content.
And Batman's a jerk.
Batman's a joke, Joker.
I know he is.
So before we get to Ironcaster, just so you know, Joker, they watched the grandkids were here. They watched Christmas with Joker, where he does Batman Smells, Joker Gets Away, and they just belly laughed at how funny that was. They had not seen that, evidently. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Maybe they thought that. I said, did you heard that before? Like, yeah, of course. Kids at school say it all the time. I said, did you not know it's from Joker? Like, it's from Joker. They're like, no, it's the best. And I made them watch it again. And they were all tickled with themselves. So gotta do your part, folks. You gotta do your part to make sure your kids and grandkids and generations are in love with this.
You,
stuff.
sir,
Gotta keep these things going forward.
You, sir, I must commend you. You showed me a picture of one of your grandkids watching Battle of the Planets.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Watch Battle of the Planets. They had Mighty Mouse,
Bravo,
Battle
sir.
of the Planets, G.I. Joe. Those are the hot ones right now. Batman animated series is always a ask. It's usually they have about 5 of their favorite episodes. Almost Got 'Em is like by far their favorite episode. But yeah, those come up. Ironcaster, my friend, you also have what used to be. I gotta find time to do my channel. Ironcaster is blowing up, and as you've heard here tonight, as Loki and I have been pointing out, This man is gold. This man is gold. He's the new. He's going to surpass Culture Casino at some point. He's going to, So, all right, what's going on, my friend?
So tonight I'll be on with T-shirt historian for our little midweek in geek to no doubt talk about Wizards of the Coast because they sure love to stick their foot into it because it's a day that ends in Y and Wizards of the Coast has decided that this iconic legacy character is on one of the best-selling editions of the book is now suddenly female. When it never was to begin with. In fact, the original artist, Larry Elmore, has come out and said, empathetically, like, no, I was never given any instructions to do such a thing. In fact, like, I'm kind of known for my drawing my women, and this is not one of my women. Among other things, including, I think we're going to talk about a little bit of the video game meltdowns, because it is getting bad out there.
Yep.
And then, of course, I'll be on Friday night with, Friday night I'll be on, actually, with my buddy Tabletop Junkie, where we're playing through a little bit of a little D&D setting, and I get to go be an elf and get to go annoy them with being just this charismatic monk, or cleric.
You're an elf? You're not an elf. You're a dwarf. Aye, laddie, look at the beard. He's a dwarf.
Always keep them guessing, my friends. That's exactly what they would expect.
Always play with their minds.
Interesting.
And look, there's been a lot of really good elves in anime lately. I'm like, all right, I'll buck the trend. I'll go be the knife here.
All right.
I'll be the leaf blood.
He's changing up on us, Chris. We'll have to keep an eye on that situation. Keep us alert. I want to Morning Haze. Is that something you want? Maybe Loki and I could talk about that because I've been thinking about that. About people have asked me, of all people. I don't really do much editing. I don't think Loki, you really don't do much editing either. But
I do. There's some stuff that honestly, Morning Haze. I could make a video. I honestly, it'd probably be boring for a lot of people, but get a good editor. If you want to learn how to edit, first thing of advice, get a good editor. Power Director 365. There's that other one, but I don't like that other one. Power Director doesn't pay me to say that. I've used Power Director for over a decade, and their 365 has access to music, video, all stuff that is not copyrighted, so you can use it in whatever you got. They've got a bunch of bands, a bunch of music, a bunch of video, a bunch of pictures. They've got all kinds of stuff that you'll have access to as long as you have an internet connection. So, and you get so many downloads every month. Honestly, it's the best program I could have got when I got it. So that's my big thing. A lot of it is just peeling it out, dude. You just kind of learn as you go, and that's what I did. I made someone a funeral video for their uncle, and they said, "Oh man," we were all crying and we were all teared up, and you picked the perfect music. And seriously, people started asking me and paying me to do that. So I did that for a couple of years as a side gig, and I just kind of got better and better at it. It's one of those real morbid stories, and from there, Star Trek videos, and eventually this crazy gig that I do now. So yeah, it all started from death.
And Morning Haze, my advice is always, I've said it on Watch Your Story several times. I'd say it again here. It's like, it's you got to just jump in, man. Just make stuff. And then when you get into it after a few videos, I always say, just after 5 or 6, you can start to feel with what you want to do. And then apply the Mr. Breeze principle is just make a little bit better. Yeah. Like if I gave you a week to fix that video, what would you do? Okay, do that to the next video. Just make it a little bit better. And eventually over time, you'll stack all those small improvements for a big improvement, but it won't feel so daunting. Don't think you have to be, a video that looks like Gary at Neurotic or what. Don't even try to put that on yourself. You're not Critical Drinker. Just do your thing and then figure out how to make it just a little bit better as you go. And there are going to be seasons for that where you have more time than not, or the type of content you're doing versus others. Like it just depends too. And if you're doing live streams like this, how can you make your show better? Just how can you, institute little things here and there, or, get a co-host or not, things like that. It's a lot more about just finding a way to balance having fun and value the engagement with people. And that's what I think is to me, my best advice for you, anybody doing this kind of thing. So
the most fun on the job learning.
Yep.
Indeed.
Just learn one new thing a day.
All right. Well, with that, hopefully you guys got all those links earmarked. You can get over there. You can check out this guy. He'll be up a T-shirt. You can see this guy in the morning. You can see this guy on like 16 other channels. Back at this guy on Saturday. There you go, guys. It's just this is it. Here we go, folks. But listen, take care. Be blessed. Hang out there. Talk hard and chill with Bob. Always have a happy smile on your face. Make day tomorrow a little bit better than today.
All I do is chill. My life is a thrill, for real, Bob Ross. I be too calm for the drama.